Well, hello everybody. Happy Foxy Friday. So today I'm going to tell you about the second to last day on the cruise. It was the one I was the most nervous about because a lot of the girls wanted to go ziplining. And I just couldn't imagine doing something like adventurous as a girl. Like with makeup and wig out in the jungle. So I was pretty nervous about doing this, but decided, you know what? I'm just going to not be afraid of doing things that I'm not sure about. So I went ahead and signed up for it. Well, we had to be off the ship pretty early. So I got dressed and I just wore like a t-shirt and shorts and sneakers because you had to wear closed-toed shoes, and just wore like a short wig because I didn't know what I was going to get myself into, and I didn't want to wear something long that was going to get all tangly and ratty. I also didn't put on eyelashes, which I really don't like my look without eyelashes, but I didn't want them flying off in the breeze, so I didn't wear eyelashes. So I just wore mascara, which not my favorite. So anyway, we got off the ship and followed the crowd to where the zip line truck was. And it was already getting kind of hot, so I'm like, oh, this is going to be miserable. And we loaded up into the car, and we drove across the island, which actually was probably the best part. It was driving through the town, through the countryside, kind of seeing the different flora and the different buildings and stuff like that. So I actually enjoyed that quite a bit. But it was like taking forever. And so we got to the place, and they gave us the instructions, and that's a lot of ands. So we got to the place, then got the instructions from the crew that was there, and they were polite, and they treated us well. There was probably 7 of us from our group, and then like another 10 from other groups of just, normal people. I don't want to hear it. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so we got our instructions, and then we did the zip line. And I'm not going to go through all the details on the zip line. I'd never done it before, and I wasn't really excited to do it because, I don't know, it just doesn't seem like adventure to me. You're just harnessed in. But it was basically what I expected. You're harnessed in. There's no real risk involved, no real thrill. You are up high sometimes. Sometimes you're just ziplining along. But it was hot, it was muggy, not very comfortable. It was fun, but not something I would ever do again. So, enough about that. I have a couple pictures, but they're horrible. So anyway, it took like half the day to do this. And then we got back to the ship. And this was supposed to be our 70s night, which is something that I was excited about. So I knew from previous experience that there would be a little dance lesson. So I made sure that I was back to the ship in time for the dance lesson. Actually, I was back to the ship in plenty of time. So I kind of got dressed in something sort of tropical and started wandering around the ship with Sarah. And we went to go look at our pictures. Well, there was this guy and woman there, and the guy was like super duper drunk. And he's like, oh, there you girls are. And I didn't recognize him, and Sarah didn't recognize him. So he probably had met the other girls like the night before. But he was talking to us like he knew us. But so we talked to him for a little bit, and he was just really funny, just like super drunk, and like just loving being around us because we were like novelty girls or whatever. And I know sometimes people can think that's like a sideshow act. They don't want to be treated like a sideshow act. But he was being sweet. He wanted to get his picture taken with us. And so we took a couple pictures with him as well. But he was being nice. His wife was being nice, or his girlfriend or whatever. So they were cute. So anyway, we went and we had some snacks and lunch and whatnot. 70s night was later in the night. So I decided to wear this sparkly red dress to dinner, and then figured I would change later for the 70s night. Well, we went down to the bar like we usually do because we were early for dinner, and then on our way to dinner, there was that guy again. And this was like 3 hours later, so I don't know how he was still standing. There he was still drunk, but he was at one of the professional photo spots, and he was sitting there and he kind of giggling, and a couple of his buddies were egging him on. I'm not sure what they wanted him to do. But as Sarah and I are walking by, we see him, and so we run over and we sit on his lap, just as like he's getting his picture taken. And he got this great big look on his face, like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. His friends thought it was awesome. They were laughing, they were cheering. Anyway, it was just a really cute moment, and I wish I had copies of those pictures. I'm sure they're priceless. Maybe you'll see them on the internet somewhere. So, as far as my outfit goes, I was planning on wearing those nude sandals, but because they had given me a blister the first night, I decided to wear these emergency closed-toed shoes. I didn't really bring a lot of emergency clothes, but I did bring these shoes because they're kind of generic, and I figured I could wear them with whatever if I had to. And I figured if I'm wearing closed-toed shoes, I might as well wear nylons. And I did bring my Wolford hose tights, so I wore those. And I've got to say, for the couple hours that I was dressed in this dress, I probably felt the prettiest the whole time I was on the ship. I got lots of compliments walking around, going to the bar, going to dinner and stuff. It was just so neat. I just felt so beautiful. I heard someone, maybe they were teasing, but one person spoke to another, and I overheard them saying, "There goes Miss America." Now, it might have been sarcastic, I don't know, but anyway, it didn't seem like it was meant that way. Well, one other really interesting thing happened. We were, again, on the stairs taking a picture, and some people that were nearby offered to take our picture. People around this area were really friendly. Not sure why. It might have been because there was a pub right next door, or it might have been because the jewelry store was giving away free champagne. Put those two things together and it makes for a lot of friendly people. So anyway, at this stairway, we were all posing for the picture, and this woman comes over and says, like, "Oh, let me take a picture for you." So we all got together and we took the picture. And then I'm like, well, wait a minute. Now you need to come in, speaking to the woman, now you need to come in and take the picture with us. Oh, and her friends thought that was so hilarious. So she came in and to get a picture with us. And all her friends were taking pictures. And this guy that was with her was like, "Oh, here, let me get a picture of all of you guys together." And so, including her, his girlfriend. So he took the picture, and then we're like, "You took the picture, now you have to get in." And so we just kind of kept adding people, and their friend group thought it was hilarious. They were roaring. They were having such a good time. So they've got a whole bunch of pictures of us as well. So after dinner was that 70s party. So I went back up and changed into my 70s clothes, which I really loved as well. I felt pretty in that as well. So this was like my pretty day. Other than the morning, ziplining, all sweaty and hot. The evening, I felt pretty. I thought I looked good. I was wearing fun clothes. How can you beat that, right? So we went to the 70s party, which was in one of the bigger theaters, and it was just so much fun as well. It was like the 80s night, is like all these fun songs and fun dances, but the dance floor was bigger. There were more people there. It was just so much fun, dancing and singing on the dance floor, and like there were a lot of girls, a lot of women there that were like enjoying being around us and dancing with us and just loved our energy. And oh my gosh, the headline performer was just the cutest girl. And I had to get my picture taken with her. She was having so much fun and being such a great hostess, leading our dances and smiling. And she was just the cutest and made the whole thing fun. Over here. like 5 days into the cruise, maybe 6, maybe 4, whatever. Anyway, this was several days into the cruise, so our group had been seen by most people, and it seemed like there was a shift where a lot of people were being much more engaging with us. People were much happier to approach us and say hi, or to engage us in conversations, or just enjoyed us as, just considered us part of the family, you know? And I don't know if that's just normal for most cruises, where like at first everybody's a little standoffish, and then after a while you kind of become part of a family. I definitely noticed a shift on this day, where it seemed like people were happier, and maybe they were just more drunk. People were happier and more engaging and more willing to smile and say hi and have conversations. Maybe it was my attitude had changed, but I don't know. But it did seem like there was a difference about this time. So that was probably my favorite day, or at least my favorite night of the whole cruise was that night, because I had felt so pretty the whole time and I had such a great time. Even though the morning wasn't wonderful, it just turned out to be a great day. And only one day left, so see you next week.